Would you like to have more courage? Kind of a crazy question to ask, right? But would you like to have more courage? And understand that courage is a choice. You don't wait for it to arrive, all right? People, attain worth and status by choices that they make, and those choices take courage. Every single one of you listening here today, you made a choice to get involved with the Super Patch Company. You made a choice. And for a lot of us, that took courage because this is not the normal 9 to 5 type of deal, right? It took courage maybe to step out of your comfort zone to make the decision to get involved when you did. Courage is considered to be one of the most important foundations of humanity. So the question is, how do you build it? How do you go out there and build courage? Now, you guys are going to kind of be surprised with my answer here, but if you want to go out there and build courage, you have to go be foolish. You got to go out there and be a little bit foolish. The thing that you are most afraid of is not danger. It's looking foolish, because none of us want to look foolish, right? But being foolish builds courage. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you a little personal thing here. I have a really like if you drag me onto a dance floor, I have a really hard time with that. If you force me to sing in front of people, I have a really hard time with that. And I know, and I'm sitting here talking to you guys about building courage, and if I'm gonna be courageous and dance in front of people or sing in front of people, I know that I have to look foolish. I know that. I know I'm going to look foolish if I try to do those two things because I can't do it. I struggle with it. But if I do it, it's going to help me build courage. The problem is people aren't willing to do that. People aren't willing to pay that price. Okay? And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying if you want to build courage, you have to do it. And, the problem is that we get to a place where we're looking good, but then we get paralyzed. We work like crazy to maintain this I'm okay image, and we make people believe that everything is going great. But guys, by not jeopardizing our appearance, we think we're doing well. We're not. Because what's happening is you have no growth happening. And listen, I know that by me grabbing a karaoke mic, I don't know how that's going to help me grow or not. It probably will. But I know that I'm going to be really foolish when I first start. And I might get better over time, but it's going to help me build courage. And I just have to make the decision if that's the kind of courage, I want to build, right? Guys, when growth is not happening, we're dying. The greatness we have inside us is getting colder and colder. I've said this a million times, but Les Brown said that the wealthiest place on the earth is the graveyard because it's filled with ideas that were never acted upon. It's filled with people who did not take the courage to act on an idea that they had. True personal growth happens when we stretch our, beyond our limits and out of our comfort zone. So to grow, we've got to risk falling and really looking foolish, okay? True courage is risking being uncomfortable. And I know, I'm talking to myself here today, you guys. I know it. There are so many things that I say, I'm going to go do this. I'd love to go play an instrument. I'd love to go learn how to play the piano. I'd love to go learn how to play a guitar. And you know what? I looked really foolish when I started to play those instruments. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do. And it's like, yeah, you kind of look foolish, but you're growing. And if you continue to step out, it's going to become comfortable. Okay? So, what you do, you become a legend in your own mind. Okay? This is what you do. You become a legend in your own mind. And you practice courageousness in your own mind. Okay, let me tell you a quick little story. I was hosting I was the MC for a convention. This was back in 2011 or 12, something like that. And I thought it would be pretty cool for me and Derek Richards, and some of you who know Derek Richards, Carrie, you know Derek Richards. He's a friend of mine who's a comedian in Las Vegas. He was co-hosting the event with us. We hired Derek to co-host the event. And I called Derek up and I said, dude, let's come out as the Blues Brothers. Let's come out as the Blues Brothers and we'll sing Soul Man on stage. Well, I didn't quite have the courage to sing Soul Man, so we lip synced it. Okay, we just lip synced it. And we never rehearsed. We did not rehearse it once. And I just told Derek, I said, here, I'm going to send you a video. Just copy this video. Do what the guys do. You be Jake, I'll be Elwood, and we'll just copy what this is. Well, in my mind, I rehearsed it over and over and over and over and over. So when it came to the convention, I looked at Derek backstage, and I'm like, you ready? And he's like, dude, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go have a blast. Now, Derek is used to being on stage, and he performs, every night in Las Vegas, it seems like, and he's all over the country. Me, this was a little bit different. Yes, I get up and I speak, but I don't perform, right? And so when the music played, I think we killed it. Why? Because I rehearsed it over and over and over in my mind. I became a legend in my own mind. Okay? There's another story of a war prisoner. He was a Vietnam War prisoner. And I don't know how many years he was in prison. But every single day in his mind, he played Augusta National. The Augusta National Golf Course. Ben Hines, you know all about Augusta National. And he just knew the course. In his mind, he'd play hole 1, hole 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way through 18. And every single day in his mind, he played that course. And when he was freed as a prisoner of war during the Vietnam era, somehow, some way, he got invited to go play Augusta National. And he shot a 2 over par. This guy was not a professional golfer by any means. He was a golfer, but he wasn't a pro. And he shot 2 over par. And he had never played the course live before. He got courageous and became a legend in his own mind. And he just cycled through it again and again and again. Courage is like a muscle, and it grows bigger through regular exercise. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is stop thinking and just act. Most of what you fear is not threatening. When you feel fear, step into it. And I know that's difficult to do, but when you feel that fear, step into it. Because what you resist persists. Okay? Avoiding fear only makes it grow larger. Have you ever had the situation where you're like, yes, I got to call this person, and you just keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and you're like, it just keeps building inside you, and you think it's going to be so horrible when you call this person because you got to figure this out, whatever the case may be, and then all of a sudden you make the call and you go, well, that was nothing. Well, that was easy. It's like, well, do it right away. Okay, so when you feel that fear, step into it. Because you don't want it to grow larger. The only way out of fear is through it. Okay? The more you attack it, the weaker it gets. So I want you guys to think of things that you fear in this business. Okay, think about the things that you fear in building this business, and I want you to attack them. And good things are going to happen, you guys. I know you might look foolish, all right? And we don't want to look foolish in front of anybody. But when we look foolish, we're growing, and we're developing courage. And it just sets you up for the next obstacle that comes into your life.